Welcome back to the kitchen, guys and girls. It's your boy, the Mad Chef, and tonight's another very special video for me. We're finally getting our chance to cover a dish I've been wanting to do on this channel for a long time, and we're talking about gumbo. That's right, but not just any gumbo. We're talking about an amazing chicken and sausage gumbo that's going to blow you away. That being said, this is probably the last Cajun recipe video I'm going to be sharing on the channel for a while, because I'm looking to expand my horizons and bring you some different and exciting content. Don't worry, more Cajun footage will be featured later on the channel, but right now we're looking to expand. We're always looking to expand. And on that note, if there's anything that you would like to see come to the channel, just comment down below. It can be anything, really. I'm always looking to venture out into new territories, and I want to take you guys with me, and I do listen to you all. That being said, while this is not exactly a 12-15 hour all-day gumbo, you do want to at least give yourself about 3-ish hours of lead time to get this meal done. And a big word of advice to all of you, especially if this is your first time making it, get all of your prep done before you even start cooking, because once you start your roux, you've got to stand over it, because we're going to be cooking out that roux for a very long time. You want to get it a nice chocolate color. And the dark color of gumbo does not come from an artificial ingredient like kitchen bouquet, like we used in our pastelaya video. If you haven't checked that out, there'll be a link in the description, a card floating around here. And since this does take a while to cook, I'm going to cut out all the unnecessary talking, and we want to get started making this amazing gumbo. So as you can see, my prep area is already lined up with everything that I need. Of course, my Texas Trinity. This is 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts that are sliced in half and cubed. This is 1 whole andouille sausage cut up. This, of course, is our homemade Cajun seasoning. If you don't have that or don't know how to make that yet, any kind of Cajun seasoning that's your favorite you can use. Some bay leaves, of course. We're going to be serving this over some white rice, some minced garlic, flour, and some vegetable oil, olive oil, salt and pepper, and some nice reduced sodium chicken stock. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start seasoning our chicken with this amazing Cajun seasoning. And then after we do that, we're going to take this straight to the stove and let all the magic happen. Now that we've got our stock pot nice and hot over a medium-high heat, we're going to go ahead and add in our chicken. Normally, I'm a bigger fan of searing off our andouille sausage and then using that to crisp up and flavor the chicken. Right now, the goal of this is to create some juice at the bottom of the pot that's going to flavor our roux. So we're going to let this chicken cook down for about 10 minutes, then we're going to add our sausage. Alright, so I changed my mind. It's only been about 5 minutes. This chicken's right at a good medium. So we're going to go ahead and add in our andouille sausage. I want to cook that down until the chicken is well done and we start to see some crisping on our sausage. Now, if we were making a traditional gumbo, I've seen some traditional gumbo recipes start with the roux first, and they spend a lot of time making the roux. And then they start preparing their meats and stuff in a separate pot. But while getting your meats going first, what this does is not only does it cook your proteins out, it creates a base of flavor already for your roux, so that cuts out some additional steps at the end. So it's kind of an economical way, but we're still going to cook down these meats as good as possible. 1, to provide good flavor, and 2, to provide some extra flavor down at the bottom of the pan so we can make a kickin' roux. So we're going to cook this down for maybe another 5-10 minutes. Alright, so it's been 10 minutes since the andouille's been in this pot. It's given off a lot of its flavor. It's seasoning the chicken. So what we're going to do now is get our spider and get all this meat out of the pot. We want to leave the juices down bottom. Now this is the part that's going to take some time. We're going to add in 1 cup of canola oil. You can use vegetable oil as long as it's a high smoke point cooking oil that has neutral flavor. Alright, and so now that we have a nice little rolling boil going on over here, we're going to add in 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. Probably going to reduce that heat a little more. And we're just going to combine that until it's all dissolved into this seasoned oil here. Okay. Now what's important to remember about this is the fact that we have to continually stir this. This is not like your average mac and cheese roux. The color we have now is kind of like an off peanut butter color. We're trying to go for that Hershey's milk chocolate sort of look. So what I want to do is I want to give you an update every 5 minutes on the transformation of this roux. But be careful. Make sure that you do not leave this unattended because it will burn. So this is the 5-minute check. And we've achieved more of a caramel color. It's definitely starting to thicken up, and as you can see, I switched spoons here. I want something that can honestly make sure that we can pass the clean bottom test. Shows you guys that there's really nothing hanging out at the bottom here, and there's not. And I've also reduced the heat on the stove here because I started to feel a little resistance down at the bottom of the pot, and that's not really something you want. So I'm almost on the lowest heat this stove has to offer. We're continually moving it, pushing it, making sure that we have nothing caught on the bottom. And I'll see you again in about 5 minutes. All right, we're at the 10-minute phase now. And you can see that really not a lot has started happening here. We're still in like a deep caramel, deep amber color. What I will say is that as this continues to cook, the smell is changing, and it smells amazing. I feel like a lot of the flavors down there are cooking down and reducing and strengthening in flavor. Also, I feel like it's caramelizing a lot. So we'll check again in another 5 minutes. All right, we are officially 15 minutes in, or 20, I can't remember now. And we are still holding at a dark caramel and an incredible cramp in my shoulder. I did bump up the heat just slightly. We're still on a very low heat. I don't want to really amp up the cooking too much on this because I don't want it to burn. The good news is that nothing is sticking and nothing is burning. This is just a time-consuming process. So we'll check back in another 5 minutes. It's been an hour and we have finally reached that nice milk chocolate color that we were looking for. So all in all, total, this took about an hour and 15 minutes to get here. Now, of course, you can continue cooking it to get it darker. So yeah, for you guys at home, about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes just for the roux. We've been cooking for an hour and a half on the dot right now, and this is where we're at. All right, which is why I told you guys budget at least 3 hours for this. Also, pro tip, this is not something you make when you're hungry or even getting hungry. I have rated the meatball twice for small pieces. So yeah, definitely make sure this is something that you make after you've already eaten a little something. So now to this, we're going to go ahead and add in our Texas Trinity, which today is half a large yellow onion, 2 stalks of celery, and 2 jalapeno peppers that were seeded and diced. We want to add this in. And we're going to cook this on a medium heat. Alright, and now that we've got all of our veggies in this beautiful mixture here, we're going to go ahead and do what we always do. We're going to season up our veg with a little bit of salt. That's going to help draw out some of the moisture. And a little black pepper. And we're going to cook these down for about 10 minutes. Alright, so 10 minutes is up. Our veggies are softened. And I know you guys might think this looks dark, but it's important to notice it's not burnt. It passes the streak test. Nothing stuck on the bottom of this pot. So what we're going to do now is add in a generous tablespoon of minced garlic. And we're going to let that toast off in there for about a minute and no more. Just enough to get some of that good flavor in there. Okay, and at this point we're going to reintroduce our meats. Get them all mixed up in this, get them all equally covered. Alright, this is where things start happening, y'all. And guys, I understand now why Cajun people stay skinny so long. This is like a whole workout. I feel like my arms should be ripped by now. There's a lot of elbow grease involved. I didn't realize I was going to be hurting this much making gumbo. Alright, now that everything is covered, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of either the homemade Cajun seasoning that we make here, or your favorite Cajun seasoning. I'm going to get that worked in. Okay, and now we're going to hit it with 6 cups of a low sodium chicken broth, or whatever chicken broth that you have, which is going to be equivalent to 1.5 of these 32-ounce containers that I'm using. I'm going to stir this up real quick. Make sure everything is involved here. Then want to cover it up and bring it to a boil. Alright, now we're at a good boil here. We're just going to give this a nice stir. Now this is the point where you can add okra if you want. I know that's a controversial thing when it comes to gumbo. I'd eat it with or without, but I don't think my wife would be a very big fan if I put okra in this. So it's all to taste. Again, Cajun food is amazing because it's very inclusive. Now also we're about to cover another topic of gumbo making, and that's filet powder. A lot of people like to use gumbo filet powder, and what that is basically ground sassafras leaves, and most Cajun cooks don't really even use it in the gumbo. They just set it on the side in case someone wants it. Basically what filet powder is, and what it does is thickens your gumbo. But if you reduce your gumbo like what we're about to do, for a decent amount of time, it's going to thicken up, darken up, and it's going to be great. So all I want to do now is reduce this heat to a medium-low setting. And then I'm going to pop in 3 bay leaves. And this is going to reduce on a medium-low heat. Let me get these pushed down real quick so they can do their thing. For about 45 minutes. I want to go ahead and set me a timer. And when this gumbo has about 10 minutes left, I want to start the water from our rice. Of course, we're using that good old instant GV rice like we always do. So by the time the gumbo is done cooking, the rice will be ready and we'll be ready to assemble. Okay, so here we are. This is the part that I like best. This is the plating and tasting. It's been almost 3 hours of cooking, but it produced a rather sexy bowl of food. And all I did here, after it was done being served up, just put a little parsley over it. You can add chives, whatever. So we're going to take a taste of it and see what's up with it. Mmm. Oh, that's hot. It's spicy. It's spicy. It's savory. It's got deep flavor. Perfect for a day like today. We just got the first snow of the year today. But even if it's not cold outside, people in Louisiana cook this all year long. This is amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is the last Cajun video I'm going to be doing for a while. Don't worry, there'll be more later on. I'm just dedicated to bringing you guys different and better content, and I hope you guys look forward to it as much as I do. So let's dig in.